Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Valorant Weekly News Roundup brought to you by SkillCapped. My name's Modix, and today we have a ton of new info coming straight from the developers. Every other week, they release an Ask Valorant article where they take your questions and answer them. So today, we'll be discussing that as well as a tournament breakdown of the FaZe Clan Valorant Invitational. Before we get into that, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe with notifications on because every Sunday we release a weekly news video to keep you up to date with all the Valorant news that happened in the past week. With all that said, let's go ahead and jump straight into the Ask Valorant news article. Our first question for this week is, I heard someone at Riot once say that abilities don't kill in Valorant, but there are clearly ones that do, like Raze. Are you breaking your promise? This question is regarding this tweet by Nicolo. In it, he said, "To be clear, in Project A, shooting matters. You don't kill with abilities. Abilities create tactical opportunities to take the right shot. Characters have abilities that augment their gameplay instead of fighting directly with their abilities." Now, many of us know that this tweet didn't really age well because Raze and Killjoy got added into the game, and believe it or not, their abilities can actually kill. Here's what the devs had to say regarding this whole confusion. This statement isn't completely accurate, especially in a game that already had Raze and Killjoy's gameplay locked in before our announcement. Anyways, that was our mistake. A big part of that mistake was in missing the nuance, specifically that tactical fundamentals, not just abilities don't kill, are a key component. Guns provide the vast majority of kills, and even our damage abilities are designed with the goal of creating threat. When well played against, guns should be the primary method used to finish off opponents that are preoccupied with a distraction or trying to avoid the damage. In cases where this isn't holding up, like mid-combat blast pack usage, we'll fix those as part of our ongoing commitment to tactical gameplay. If this promise, abilities never kill, was the thing that made you come to try Valorant, we're sorry if we misled you, even unintentionally. But our position is and has been that abilities that deal damage are a core part of tactical games, whether it be Valorant or other TAC shooters. We can unpack this topic more in the future if you're interested. I mean, we do have to keep in mind that this tweet was released in October of 2019, so even if they did want abilities just to give a slight advantage, they could easily decide to change this. Now, our next question was mainly directed to the agent designers, so Morello took the lead. He was asked, are there any abilities or kits that are a no-go in Valorant? How far is too far? And in his response, he said, specifically, we try to avoid abilities that would remove the high consequence gunplay. Increased maximum health tends to be a no-fly zone, as do abilities that replace guns that aren't an ultimate like Jet or Raze. So after hearing that, I have a question for all of you watching. If you could have any ability come to Valorant in the next update, what would it be? Be sure to let us know your answers in the comments of this video. Now, moving on to our final question, we get to hear a bit more about the Valorant anti-cheat. Here's the question. Hi anti-cheat team, we haven't heard much from you these days, just wondering how things are going. Can you tell us how many cheaters you've banned so far? Now, I know a ton of players have been wondering this, and the answer might just surprise you. I don't have a total number of bans to share, but I don't want to leave you empty-handed, so I brought something for you number fans out there. 1,802. That's the number of manual bans the anti-cheat team has issued after investigating suspicious players. While the overwhelming majority of bans are automatically applied by Vanguard, me and the rest of the team manually review suspicious accounts. This helps us find previously unknown cheats and also lets us evaluate Vanguard's performance. It also gives us an opportunity to manually accelerate the ban for the most disruptive players. Saying that the game has only been out for 4 months now, that's a good amount of suspicious activity. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the Ask Valorant news article, but luckily we got another very interesting developer comment this week. For this one, we need to hop over to Twitter to find a tweet from Ziegler talking about the ranked system. On August 13th, he went ahead and tweeted, "Hey everyone, on the design side, we are currently analyzing the ranking system top to bottom. We're looking into changes that will improve many aspects of competitive, but have not committed to any solutions yet. Thanks to everyone for their feedback." Now this is all the news we have right now, but it will be interesting to see what these new changes will be. As many of you know, I have been hoping for some sort of number value that goes along with your elo and goes up or down depending on ranked matches. Even though Ziegler did tweet this, don't hold your breath because the changes probably won't be coming until either Act 3 or the start of Episode 2. I know this is a pretty long time from now, so in the meantime, I guess we'll just have to keep watching the professional side of Valorant. And that actually brings us into our final topic for this video. So last week, the FaZe Clan Valorant Invitational was held and TSM had a huge comeback to win against Sentinels in the final game. One of the best parts of Valorant tournaments is being able to look over the pick rates for each agent and how often each map was played. So to start, let's take a look at the number of games played on each map. As you can see, Ascent was the most played with 27 games, followed by Bind at 21 matches, then Split with 20, and lastly Haven with 16. This is a very surprising statistic because Ascent is the newest map in Valorant and these pro teams already feel confident enough in their strats to play on it. And to go along with this, Haven was the least chosen map when a lot of pro players preferred it around a month ago. Now this could just be a coincidence, but it might be a statistic that we need to watch out for in future Valorant tournaments. Now before we wrap up this video, we still have to take a look at the pick rates of every agent during the tournament, and these will definitely raise some eyebrows. Taking a look at the chart, we're able to see that Cypher is standing strong at the top with a pick rate of 92%, and then following him was Omen with 68%. This is a huge change from Sage, who is always in the top 2 agents picked, but following Omen was Sova and Jet with pick rates of 65% and 63%. Next up in line is finally Sage with a pick rate of 57%. So almost half of the games played were without a Sage. As for the other agents, they fell in this order: Phoenix, Raze, Brimstone, Breach, Reyna, and then finally Viper. We do have to keep in mind that Killjoy was not allowed to be played in this tourney, so this could have affected a few of the picks. Many players are predicting a triple Sentinel meta, and in that, Sage and Cypher should both be played a lot. But once again, we will just have to stay tuned for more statistics from future Ignition Series tournaments. Well, that's going to be all from me today, and I really hope you enjoyed this video and maybe even learned a thing or two. If you want to make sure you don't miss any Valorant news, then be sure to subscribe with notifications on. This is Modix signing out, and I will see you all in the next one.